Things are starting to heat up today into the next couple of days across Minnesota, well into the 80s, maybe near 90 for some, and it's going to get a little more humid too. Cool front sweeps through Friday. We're talking about the slightest chance of a couple thunderstorms, a very comfortable holiday weekend, but then maybe more heat next week, but not as hot as where it's coming from. Death Valley could set the all-time record high for the month of September on Earth. Well, summer is almost in the books. Yeah, meteorological summer ends today. 2.2 degrees above normal. I know that doesn't sound like much, but that's a whole standard deviation above normal, which is a huge amount. And to put into perspective, last year was the hottest summer ever recorded in the Twin Cities, and that was just 3.9 degrees above normal. So very little variation to get some very record high amounts. Ties us for the 17th hottest with 2018, and of course we are over a half foot below normal, at least at the airport for summer rainfall. A lot of places, even in the East Metro, have made up some ground here in the month of August. High pressure now sinking farther to our south. Air moves clockwise around that area of high pressure, so that means we get back in on a southerly flow today, and that's going to be warming up the temperatures. Mid to upper 80s today, upper 80s the next couple of days, and also some of this muggier air you can see filling in, especially tomorrow and Friday. You'll notice it getting stickier around the area. Today, I think the dew points will still be comfortable, but it is going to be much warmer, mid to upper 80s this afternoon. And then that will move out. A cool front sweeps across Minnesota Friday, brings back the comfortable dew points for the weekend. A very nice weekend, 70s and low 80s, but it is going to be maybe heating up again next week. So upper 80s, look at the temperatures across Minnesota tomorrow. Friday, though, you can already see the effect of that cool front. Much cooler for northern Minnesota, still upper 80s here in the south. And then Saturday, very pleasant, 70s for most of the state, maybe just upper 60s in northeastern Minnesota. But again, things could be warming back up after we head towards Labor Day and beyond. So as kids head back to school, yeah, might have more summer next week. But here's that cool blast for the weekend. But we're watching off to the west. That's where the heat has been for the month of August, really. And it looks like some of that might be trying to blow our direction. So here's the cool front Friday. Timing-wise, comes through in the early afternoon. So that's why we probably won't see much in the way of thunderstorms, just because of the timing and not quite as much deep moisture. So here's 2 o'clock Friday, a couple of isolated showers or a thunderstorm. Better chance along the front later in the evening, just with more moisture and some of that daytime heating. And that's why most of the measurable rainfall looks to be across Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, when we look at the blend or sort of the average of the models. But the bigger story besides overall dry weather is going to be this kind of second blast, or I guess it'd be fifth or sixth blast of some warmth here this summer. We've had the ridge of heat. The heat dome has been parked to the west here for the last month. June and July, of course, was pretty hot, but there's some signs that we're at least going to get pieces of that moving in here. The first one is what we're seeing now, the next few days. Not quite 90, but definitely warmer and above normal. But by next week, a lobe of that heat stretches into Minnesota potentially. We'll see if it's quite 90 or not, but it looks like Death Valley is the place we're going to be watching this weekend. Saturday could get close to the all-time record, which is 126 for the month of September, which is the hottest temperature on Earth for the month of September. So they could get close to it. And of course, Death Valley holds the most reliable all-time record period, which is 134, which of course is in July, the hottest month. So we're talking about the hottest for September. 87 for us today, nowhere near that, but though we're not quite hitting 90, these temperatures are the equivalent of 90 degrees really in July, because the normal high right now is 78. Of course, it's dropped several degrees. So pretty warm here for the transition into September. It will cool off for the Labor Day weekend, as I mentioned, just 77 even on Sunday. Some great sleeping nights in the 50s, but signs that we could be heating back up next week into the upper 80s. There's a chance at 90, but those have been kind of elusive lately, so we'll see if that pans out.